working hard. Yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, so hard, I could never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like fourth down, Hail Mary, no one up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now. You said that you ballin', keep it real though. Hey, why I never saw you in the field though? Hey, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just...
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. I'll see you again at how it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are just west of downtown Denver off of I-25 and Impact. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their Broncos. And hello again, Bronco team. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the
offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player,
getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
and it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. The first carry now. This is Johnson. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And let's look quickly here at the Denver offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Garoppolo now. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-1 as opposed to the 2-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw, it's Wentz. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's a first down throw that's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. That's complete. Bernard. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll run on first down. Patterson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Cordero Patterson. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. It's good, and we're all time a 6-play drive. And the capper, a 19-yard touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Johnson on the counter. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Here we go.
7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
What's tight? Tight is right.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. That's complete to Kyle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 16 yards, a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. And this is incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. Here's Johnson. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Garoppolo. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. This from 54 yards away. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, maybe it's like my wedge. When you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Terry McLaurin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the form of this game tied up? It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. Vintageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check. Fresno.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Let's go.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Now their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here they're trying to make it 3 in a row. On 1st down, it's Patterson, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
82.
On second and very short, Wentz looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be second and 11. Tried to go draw play out of the gun. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Terry McLaurin with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
McManus now for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Check, 4 down.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Working from the gun, Wentz. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Now McManus for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Some great games still to come, and I think we highlighted one of the better ones right there, as that promises to be a tight one. Good stuff to follow on the West Coast in the afternoon window. One being out in Oakland, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And then lastly, on Sunday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and the Tennessee Titans. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go, buddy.
It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Uchenna and Wonsu got the sack there.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Throwing is Wentz. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times it stays in the air for a while to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an
things
interception.
for different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. They'll run on first down. Patterson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Give him 30 yards there.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 31 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. A gain of 13, it's a first down. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Caught by Cobb. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Garoppolo hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. He's at the 30. 10. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
McManus now for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd, and unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
The Browns drive about to get started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a give, right side. It's Patterson. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Man, I got you. Man.
Once more, they turn to Patterson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
That is caught. It's Perriman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
Patterson on the carry.
Just want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch time. Tight end right.
Now Wentz. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards there and a first down. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run with Patterson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Patterson, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 28. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. His throw incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. This is caught with a catch right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Garoppolo on 1st down. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down. Garoppolo now, dumping it off for Johnson. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Here we go.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. They'll run it with Johnson. And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a 2nd straight play. Looking to throw, Garoppolo.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and that will get out of bounds. Lucky there. They keep possession inside the 5.
Here we go.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And this is caught. Well, they get 1 back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Point after, right down the middle, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. That time, a 9-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cleveland, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
I just got bags from Prada, rolling up.